Yo, what is up people, and welcome to the Real Racing Project. In today's video we are jumping into the time trial that just came out around Dragon Trail, the reverse track. We are using the Porsche 911 GT3. It's a GT3 time trial, and you have to be on the hard compound for this time trial. So immediately jumping in with no practice and going wide and spinning. Really hating my life. As I said, I had no practice before jumping in, so just getting a feel for the track and the tires and the car overall. As you can see, I'm not really hitting the apex in these first two corners. And this time trial was actually very difficult for me because the hard compound was making the car slide a lot, and hitting your braking points and getting the right rotation in the corners was really difficult. So yeah, a tough time trial, but nevertheless I got a good time in the end. So going through the S's here, full throttle, changing gear, spotting my braking point here right at the beginning of the curve, and just trail braking into this corner here, and then easily on the power. I short shifted here, which I stopped doing later on, but I actually did it in the end again as well. Going through the depth chicane here, and you can see I just completely messed it up here and I'm all over the place. And the depth chicane is always hard to get dead on, but you know, that's why practice is very important when racing, but also doing these time trials. Just getting lap after lap in and find out where you can optimize your laps. As you can see, I set a 140.5 here, which is now the benchmark to beat. So now here on the next lap, hitting this corner much better, short shifting up into this corner here, which cost me a little bit of time. This right-hander is full throttle and it's really hard to get that on. As you can see, I just crash here. You have to turn in very early and almost cut the track to get up to corner. Here on the next lap, trying to chase the ghost, which I have offset with a 0.6 second. I always find it quite nice to try and hunt down the ghost, and that's why I of course offset it. It kind of drives this competitive gene inside of me, so trying to hunt down something that is in front of me is often easier to do than just push for a whole lap. Coming down to this very sharp corner here, rotating the car in nicely, sliding a little bit, and setting a sector of 5 seconds, 0.3, and try and get the death chicane. As you can hear, I'm actually shifting down there, but later on I will stop doing that because it of course makes my times a lot slower. But as you can see, I'm much quicker than the ghost at the moment, as I just messed up a corner here, but it's gonna be a better time this time. It's gonna be a 140.1. So yeah, a small improvement, but there's still time for a lot of improvement. I think the top 10 is within the 136. Yeah, this happened a lot. I made a lot of mistakes in this time trial. It was very difficult with the hard compound. The car was just sliding and it was very easy to lose the back end of the car. You always have to be on the limit, you know, try and be as fast as you can, but also not spin the car. Um, so yeah, a very difficult time trial. A fun track though. I really love this track. When you get it dead right, it's very pleasing, but it can also be very a very annoying track in the sense that there's so many places you can make mistakes. Coming down into the sharp corner here again, short shifting, and here the sector time is 5.2. We will get down into the fours later on, and shifting down here and hitting the barrier. And I thought, okay, you know what, let's try and change the car. So I changed to the Supra. I saw that most people that has set a very good time has used the Supra, and the thing about this car is that it has a lot of momentum even from the low revs. It's a very stable car to drive in my opinion. But still I lost the car a lot and made a lot of mistakes as I did in the Porsche. But it's a great car. And I was looking at this first sector time. This was a 33.9. I was aiming to get a 33.2, which I did once. I think in my best time I did a 33.3. So aiming around that time was where I thought, okay, I'm on a good lap here. You see the car beginning to be a bit unstable when pushing, but we catch it. And here I tried something new, which clearly didn't work, but yeah, as you can see here, just making a lot of mistakes. These are just a tenth of all the mistakes I made throughout the day. The car very easily get unstable when you're turning and you are accelerating. So being careful about that is very important, especially these two corners here. When you are on the curb and you're accelerating, it can quickly become unstable. So it's a fine limit between pushing and not lose the car. Here I'm looking at the sector time again. It's a 34, which is quite high, so not ideally, but I feel still try and finish the lap, because getting the practice is more important than going for that one lap. It will come eventually, but if you just reset all the time when you can see that you're on a worse lap than what you know you can do, you might not improve as fast because you keep leaving out some parts of the track. Coming through the depth chicane, starting to find my way to take the corners. In the beginning I was downshifting and braking, whereas now I'm starting to realize that maybe just letting go of the speeder a little bit will give me the right rotation to complete the chicane. As we make a small improvement, 139.8, and we just continue here, trail braking into this first corner here, and then going up into third gear, and they're just slowly accelerating, and yeah, losing the car, which I did a billion times. Starting off this next lap here, I make a mistake again. As you can see, it's very easy to lose the car, And I did that, I think, 200 times, if that can even do it. It was very difficult. As I'm starting a new lap, waving to all the many fans that has showed up on the track. So braking around where the Astro surface starts to show up, accelerating very slowly out of this corner here. Again, trying and chasing the ghost. I sometimes disable the ghost when it's interrupting my side. Taking these two corners very messy. I get a first sector of 33.6, which is better than 34, but still not ideal. Getting these S's right. Going too far over the curbs and the S's can really make the car unstable, so be aware of that. But trade braking into this short corner here. Short shifting out of this corner here, setting a 4.8, going through the death chicane, lifting and then accelerating again. And this was much better, much faster. You carry the speed throughout the chicane, so which leads to this straight here, which gives you a lot of time. Out of the second last corner, if you would call this corner a corner, but yeah, and then across the finish line a 38.6. Then the next lap here, a 38.3, and then I just pushed too hard and yeah, made mistakes. And I realized that, okay, I might be able to get a high 37. So I was really pushing for that 37. I really wanted to try and get within a second of the fastest, but the people on the top list are crazy fast. So just huge respect to those people driving these cars so fast. As we set a first sector of 33.5, trying to rotate the car into these S's. I tried to get the left side of the wheels on the inside of the curves to kind of catch the car throughout the corners, which could help me keep the speed and the rotation in the corners as we go through the sharp corner here. Here I didn't short shift. I was just testing on different gear patterns and see what worked the best for me. I later realized that short shifting out of the slow corner was the best in terms of lap time. Coming up to the straight, this is gonna be an improvement. It's gonna be a 138.312. So a small improvement, as you can see here, again just pushing way too hard. And once again just losing the car. And this wasn't an improvement, it's just because of me resetting the car a couple of times. Nicely out of the two first corners. You have in the first corner, you have to take a lot of the curb. Let's see what the sector time is gonna be. A 33.4. Probably the best we've done so far. Coming through the S's, and then down the straight, down to the sharp corner, down here braking at the start of the curb, trade braking into this, Missed the apex a little bit, unsettling the car a little bit here, but it's a 0.4, so really fast. Second sector here, into the death chicane, just barely misses the barrier, and onto the straight here, carrying a lot of the speed. It's definitely gonna be an improvement if we get this corner right. Slowly accelerating here, short shifting into third. The good thing about the Supra is you can actually short shift a lot because it keeps a lot of the momentum within the gearing, so you don't lose that much on short shifting, which is quite nice. As we made an improvement on a 38.084. And so here this is my fastest lap, and let's see, taking this right hand corner just all over the grass is the fastest way to take that corner. It can be very difficult because if you hit the curb wrong, the car's gonna bounce, but when you get it right, it's really cool. Into the S's here, changing down the gear, hogging the inside curb, going into the right, shifting up into fifth, onto the straight here, looking for my braking point, which is at the start of the curb right here, trail braking, touching the curb there, short shifting into second, lifting a little bit mid corner here, going on the speeder again, onto the straight here, carrying the speed that we got from the death chicane. Up into third, and it's gonna be a new best time. So yeah guys, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, that will help me out a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.